What's up, Brandon? What's up, Gaming Master? Yeah, no, I'm finally back. After all this time. What's up, Zooey, Ludology, Salty Bagel. I've been doing pretty good. What's up, Fran? What's up, Faz Kitten? What's up, Alternatic? Yeah, I don't know how my schedule's gonna do, but at least for now, I'm gonna try to be at least somewhat consistent. I don't know if that's gonna happen at the moment, but I think I can at least manage it for a little bit until I actually get some consistency in my scheduling in the future, which shouldn't actually be that long from now. I keep saying that, but it really shouldn't. What's up, garlic bread? I just have some catching up to do. Just a little bit. I'm actually not super far behind, even though I didn't work on this project that much. I mean, I think the last stream I was at, I barely got rid of the water 2 months ago, and I'm halfway done with this section, so just over halfway done, so just a little bit more consistency and I'll be good. I'll catch up. I've been doing a little bit. I mean, the last time I streamed, I barely got rid of the water, and then now I'm at layer 31 streaming again. So I did do some streaming. I did do some mining off stream, so I didn't want to just make videos just of, god dang it, I keep forgetting about the gold, of me just mining a little bit. I'd rather just stream it. Either stream or no stream at all. What's up, Anonymous? What's up, Ash? Nice lootology. God. I mean, I'm responding to comments. I was responding to comments the entire time, so it's the only reason it's pretty much if I heart your comment, it's something, I'm at least somewhat active. It shows how active I am. I even go back after a couple weeks and reply to heart comments. It lags like no other, but I mean it's still fine. So you may get a random, if you do reply to a comment in like a couple weeks, you may get a heart, maybe, depending on how old the comment is or what video it's on. Also, I think I got a few more subscribers somehow, a couple weeks ago, for some reason. I don't know how, but a couple new faces on the channel. Unfortunately, I wasn't streaming at the time. What's up, timelines tested? I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, Ash. What's up, Hap? What's up, Nicholas? What's up, Gecko? Yes, I'm finally back. After all of this time. I did say I was gonna be back, I just didn't know when I was gonna be back. Let me just say this, I had to figure out how to use my brain, that's all I'm gonna say. I could have been back maybe I could have been back, oh Jesus Christ. I could have been back around a month ago, but yeah, it's hard to explain. Let me just say this, I had to figure out how to learn. Like, learn how to learn. That's what I had to do. For the most part. Could truly know how to learn. But now I figured it out. It took a little bit of trial and error, but oh well. What's up, Midnight? What's up, Toby? The weirdest thing I found in my journey? What's up, Bad Manual? What's up, Cup Car? What's up, McKinnis? I forgot how to say, actually, Jesus Christ. I forgot how to say your name, but, yeah. Actually, how about this? Instead of learning how to learn, it's more like I had to relearn how to learn. Relearning how I should learn, but, what's the weirdest thing I found? Let's see here. I don't actually know what the weirdest thing I found on my journey has been. It's definitely an interesting question. Can't really say, honestly. Nothing specific comes to mind. Okay, good to know. Good thing that I said it correctly. Okay, so yeah, I had to relearn how to learn my own way because yeah, I decided to, for some reason, take the I wouldn't say it's the I mean, it kind of is the lazy route, but it's not of learning. But it's more like I should start focusing more on logical processes, logical way to learn. What's up, Little Pizza Boy? It's hard to explain, but let me just say this, I could have those IT exams that I took, I probably could have finished those in about 2 weeks, but I took like almost 4 months on them because I kept learning the concepts and stuff like that in a really lazily way. It's almost to the point of like, I wouldn't even say like arrogant way, actually it's kind of arrogant way, the way I was doing it. Like, I almost had the formula at one point, and then I lost it, and then I, like, brought everything back together. Like, I had it correct the first time when I was learning, partially, and then I wanted to gather more information about something, but I never actually, like, logically process the pieces of information, so I never actually stuck in my head, in my own way. But yeah. I mean, I finished the Core 2, the 1002 in 3 weeks. I mean, to be fair, I barely passed it, but I mean, at the same time, the test itself I don't really like. I probably could have passed it in 2 weeks, both tests, especially the first test. Honestly, I think the first test was much easier than the second. Literally 2 weeks, probably. 2 weeks is probably the limit, though. It's the lowest I can go. Anything lower than that, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. Luckily, I don't have to deal with those tests at the moment, because I'm going to be focusing on software development, or programming, front-end software development, potentially in the future. This is the main path I want to go. The first 2 A+ exams. I'm not in a grade. Yeah, I'm not gonna do security. It could be, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think I'm pretty in tune with security. It is a pretty interesting field, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm gonna stick to more programming oriented. I think security may be more of like a backup. Like if somehow I don't want to do something like programming, I could do for some reason, I don't know why, but I could do security. It's probably my second favorite, maybe besides cloud computing. Other than cloud computing, security. So in rankings it'd go programming, and then cloud computing, and then security, and then after that probably networking. Even then, networking is kind of meh, in my opinion. Well, I'm just doing yeah, I'm just self-teaching myself everything. I'm not actually in a school. I'm just gonna self-teach myself everything, because apparently that's, I figured out how to self-teach myself properly. It took a while, but I finally figured it out. Is that Mini Cooper? Yeah, yeah, I'll consider learning security though. I think in the future, I think in my own spare time, I may learn security. I think I'm gonna learn all the core subjects in IT. I already know a little bit of networking. A tiny bit, not much though. Like at all. Security's definitely something I may learn in the future. Cloud computing's definitely something I'm probably going to be learning. It's probably going to be my next priority after programming, because you know cloud computing and programming go together so well. Especially if I want to go into like a DevOps route, but nice hop. Thank you, you're talking to me? Thank you, Manuel. That is if you are. Pretty sure you are, but I hope to get one. They're really hard to get, apparently. Regular IT, or entry-level IT jobs are pretty hard to get. Luckily, I think I'm gonna be mentoring with somebody, an IT guy. Hopefully I can get some, connections. I hope. That's like the most powerful thing. If I can get those, I'm basically set. Because I'm going to be getting the A+ cert like as a badge, because you get them as badges in your wallet or something like that. To get them delivered to you. It's pretty interesting. Or you can just print it out, but I'm going to just wait for the badge because I don't know. What's today's lesson on? Actually, I really don't know. What I could talk about. Because it's not like I've learned anything that's really, entirely useful to really anybody, let's be honest. Anything new that's been useful. Recently, surprisingly, even though yeah, I haven't really learned too much, at least, especially in the analytical psychology. I haven't learned too much about that. Recently, I've been kind of taking a break from that because it's not much for me to learn at the moment. I'm kind of sinking myself in IT at the moment, mainly programming, but I think I need to learn Windows Server, Windows Server 2016. Yes, well, I'm 20. I could do some kind of advice stream. I don't really know, honestly. I could do an advice stream. Well, sort of. I guess when it comes to, if anybody here is trying to get into IT, I can actually give some pretty good advice. This isn't technically my own advice, this is from other people. Or anything of that sort. It's actually not super hard to break into IT. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still have to be a little bit lucky, but for the most part, breaking into IT isn't that bad. Especially if you have already have pre-experience with some kind of like customer service or something like that. I have a little bit of it, but for the most part, I think you really just need skills. Skills are literally the most important part of. Actually, I'd say for any job ever is skills, but there aren't that many careers out there that really promote self-teaching skills whatsoever. IT is one of the few. That's what I love about it, is the fact that of the independence, and it's very welcoming thing. Welcoming community, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I haven't really been diving too much into the community itself, but yeah, IT definitely isn't for everybody, especially. I think, at least for all the types, I think TI users should. IT is definitely for TI users, which is funny because IT is literally TI backwards. Thinking about that. What's up, Pope? I don't really know. I would actually say if you're gonna go into IT, if anybody here is going wants to go into IT or has had any interest in it, I would say just get the CompTIA A+, 1001 and 1002, and then learn a few skills that for help desks, like, or anything of the sort, like Windows Server 2016, get a virtualization. Learn virtualization of operating systems. Mess around with like Linux. You don't absolutely need Linux, but I mean, specifically if you're first starting, I wouldn't. You can touch Linux, but it's not really a requirement. I would say Windows Server, learn Active Directory, something like that. I don't know. Any of those simple things that are there. I don't actually remember you, surprisingly, Jonah. It was kind of surprising. I'm probably not going to remember that many people. I mean, unless you literally came on every single stream, almost ever, because it's been 2 months since I've streamed. So that short-term memory is basically gone for streaming. That short-term memory of remembering everybody, it's literally just gone. So anybody who didn't join on the maybe the last, either the last couple streams or just didn't come completely regularly almost every single stream, there's a pretty small chance I'm gonna remember you. Unless you somehow give me a way to remember you. That's the only way. You have to give some kind of like, because you know my memory's horrible for obvious reasons, SI Demon, but yeah, it's really bad. Especially when you live with people that have like the types that have the best memory, and then you have literally the type that has the worst memory. It gets weird. It's like they assume that, I mean, they probably don't 100% assume, but at least to some part they kind of assume that I have some kind of memory, but I don't whatsoever. What's up, Mr. Yellow? That's actually kind of funny. What happened to Dumb Name with his Farlands and his mining out a realm, or sorry, mining out a old size world project? What happened to that? He kind of just abandoned it. He may have said something in a stream or something like that, but I don't know. So I know I remember Mr. Yellow, Pope, Gaming Master, Little Pizza Boy, Hap, Hidden Galaxy. What's up? I think I already said Brayden. I don't think he finished. I was about to say, I would have seen a video on it. For sure, I would have known about it, because I've checked up on his channel a couple times. All I've seen is those daily videos where it's like keyboard on my... I press a key on my keyboard. What's up, Lightning Sam? Or just Sam, I don't know. I keep saying Lightning Sam, I should just say Sam. I don't know why I keep doing that. Yeah, it has been a while since Dehaney. He was making some pretty good progress too. I wonder who the second person's gonna be to go to the Farlands. I really don't think there are gonna be that many people who, there aren't that gonna be, oh my god, there aren't going to be that many people, I think, they're gonna go to the Farlands. Maybe. I'm not gonna say it's a one-time thing, but there's a decent chance that it's gonna be maybe 3 people. Yeah, it's because of the shorts, the hashtag short videos that YouTube promotes now. Yeah, I know, I do need to fix that. I'll fix the FAQ. That's what sucks about having FAQ on a project like this, because it's ongoing. If you're talking about the on my description, the description of the channel. Or not the channel, but I should put it on the about channel actually. Even though it doesn't really make much sense at the same time. So wait, somebody else went to the Farlands, Mr. Yellow? That was actually, I mean, it's already been almost, what, like a year? Like 9 months or something like that? I actually have no idea. It's something like that. It's pretty nice, actually. Nice animation beast. I just saw your comment. So what's up? Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know when this project's actually gonna be finished. Ugh, I don't know when this project's gonna be finished. Honestly, if I had to like restart the last like year and a half, I probably would have just gotten a simple job and just blew this project out of the water and then did something else. That's probably what I should have done about a year and a half ago or so. But whatever, it doesn't matter at this point. Because you can't reverse time. So, oh well. It doesn't matter. I'll see if I can catch up. Eventually. Oh yeah, Scenic did stop streaming, forgot about that. He streamed a little bit, and then he stopped again. That would be so creepy, but at the same time, kind of intriguing if that happened. I don't even know how that would work, but Oh, it's getting low. There's a little bit left in it though. Do need to drink some more water though. Imagine if I made a Minecraft short, like the hashtag shorts, there's just 10,000 diamonds. I mean, I could technically do that. I'm not gonna do it though. It's just got thought of something. I was like, I could technically do a short. I don't know what they call these. Short clips, mini clips. I could technically do it, but I'm not gonna do it. There's no point. I know it's not really something that, I could technically do it. Nice. A manga. Oh my god. Manga. It's manga. Freaking Christ, man. It's manga, not manga. It's manga. God dang it. It's been so long since I've even seen that word. That's definitely interesting. I don't know. Wait, what are you guys gonna do on the manga? That's the real question. Is it gonna be like super out there in terms of writing? Oh god. So I think I am gonna make that website though for this channel for Mythical. think I'm gonna make it, especially if I'm going into programming, and the programming I'm doing is front-end development. So, and if I have to learn back-end development, then so be it. Which I don't think I have to. I could be entirely wrong though. I may have to if I want to build a website, but whatever. I think it really depends though. I may not even need to do that though. I don't know. I'll have to look at what my requirements are to build it. Personally, it's gonna be a great project to show. What's up, Mikey player? What's up, Pie Guy? Yeah, I definitely know I need HTML. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. What's up, E-Boy Gang? The other mod is one of my friends. He stops by occasionally. Wow, really is far out there. What's up, Ranger? That's pretty cool. So, like, are the powers gonna be based off of the roles, like the different ranks? Like the wood, dirt, emerald, diamond, you know, the roles that we have? Is it based on that? Oh, that was weird. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not switching to Twitch because there's really no point in me switching. Especially if I want to upload, I want to archive everything on YouTube, and there's no point in me archiving when most of my fan base is already on YouTube. Most of my fan base is on YouTube, and it's way easier to archive when I don't have to upload it to YouTube every single time to archive the videos. At least most of them. I know I'm not gonna archive every block mined. I definitely haven't done that yet. I've done quite a few of them, but that's the main reason why I'm not doing on Twitch. I really have no reason to go on Twitch. For this channel. Yes. I literally just drank water like 5 minutes ago. I mean, yeah, it does have a few more benefits, but honestly, the benefits don't really matter too much to me, to be honest. It's not really like a... I may consider it after I destroy the overworld. I'm not too sure though. I could start streaming after the overworld is done, but at least for now, I'm gonna keep the overworld on YouTube and maybe do it on Twitch. Put the Nether on the Nether Massacre on Twitch, and then the End, which is Void Massacre. Put that one on probably Twitch. I don't know. I may consider switching in the future, but at least for now, I'm gonna keep it. I mean, I can technically already monetize these streams. I may do it after the overworld. I think it'd be more beneficial to do it after the overworld. Just because people will know my name and stuff like that. And my viewer base may be a bit bigger by that point. Probably. I don't know. Most likely. Oh my god, I'm Mythical Wiki. That is so weird. Kind of interesting, kind of weird at the same time. I think it'd be pretty interesting. Yes, I'm gonna break to the bedrock, but I'm not gonna go any far past. I'm just gonna keep the world completely flat, so I can other people once I put this world as a... I don't know if I should put this world as a download. I really don't know how I'm gonna like get this world out to people, because I really want people to actually see what this world looks like in their game, because I think seeing it is so different from actually playing in it. I can show you this, and if you see that, like I can show you this, but looking at it in game would seem quite different. At least it would feel different. It may not look, I mean obviously it's not gonna look any different, but it may feel different. God, this is gonna be... I actually can't wait to see what this channel really does in the future. Once I'm finished with the overworld. It may not go to the point, it may not explode to the point as where people may think, but if it doesn't explode, I'm gonna be a bit surprised. Because there's so many people that join this channel in general, just looking at the videos, and if they see that it's close to being done, this project, then they will probably say something, and then those people join, they'll say something, and then it's kind of what happened how I blew up the first time, or the first 3 times. One person said something, then that person said something, and then it just kept going on and on and on, then just... I'd say the file is gonna be tiny. This is actually my smallest world that I have. my smallest survival world. Which, let's be honest, it shouldn't be that surprising just because there's nothing in my world. Just about. And the only way I can check that is on Bedrock Edition. It's the only version that actually shows files. I could probably figure out how to figure out. I could probably figure out how to figure out the file size of this world. My God, I cannot speak. Breaking Minecraft video. Oh, you're talking about like ant venom and like you're talking about that type of thing, like ant venom's videos. There's only one person I can think of that could possibly say something about this project towards the end, and that is IBX Toycat. He's the only person I can think of that would probably say something about this project. I could see him doing it. I don't know if he will, but he's the only person I can think of that would make maybe not even a video, just a Twitter post or something like that. Not even just a full video. He made a video on Sword Kings, and he was only he was barely even done with the last 3 layers. At that point, he really just put him on the map with that video. Yeah, ant venom and what's up, Creepex. I do have a video on why I'm doing this. If you want to watch that. Oh yeah, sure. Somebody else said that too. I forgot who else said it. So yeah, this is gonna be a crazy event. The final streams. If not the last 10% of this world, may be crazy. Also, next section is 75%, if anybody's wondering how far I am. Next section. So after this section, it's... after this section, I have a 130 block section to mine out. Well, it's not going to be 130, it's going to be a 100 block section, then a 30 block section, then I'm going to do 100 block, thing, not video, but like streams, and I'll do a countdown 75% showcase. So like, it's gonna be 75% finale, or not finale, but 75% stream number 1, 75% of the world number 2, mining 75% of the world number 3, you know. And then it gets down to the final, and then I'll make the video on 75%. And then guess what? Last 4 sections will be the final part of this. Sick. Yeah, 95% makes a little bit more sense. I debated on taking a break at the overworld. I may do a little bit. I want to see where where my channel goes, and then I'll start the Nether. I may take like a 2-week to a month break by the time that happens. I just want to respond to everybody's comments and stuff like that, and see anybody what they say about the project. Because honestly, the explosion at the end of the project may not even be as big as the overworld explosion after the project is actually done with. You never really know. This project, the channel has really surprised me with the amount of people who have actually joined, who have seen this video. It's crazy. Pippin FTS. I know who you're talking about. He's doing the mining. He's not mining. Building the world 1-to-1 scale. Earth 1-to-1 scale. What's up, Gallium? Okay, so the end is okay. You know the guy, guy Pippin. That What's up, Ghost Hunter? So at the end, on the Legacy Edition, it's the same end as 1.7.10, which is I think the same version Pippin was mining. Like, you know, the guy who mined I think it was like 1.2 million blocks of endstone. He had like 2 million or 3 million views on his videos. The guy who got recommended and now is doing the 1-to-1 scale 1-to-1 project. Or Minecraft Earth 1-to-1. I don't know how you want to say it. It's that exact end, like to a dot. It's the exact end. It's just there's no floating islands. Well, there's a little bit. Wait, is it floating? I don't think there's actually a single floating island anywhere on that end. It's literally just one giant end, which I may destroy the end city as well, just because. It's gonna be pretty hard though, because I don't have the end to repair the pickaxes, so I'm gonna have to find something else to repair them with. Yes, I remember that comment actually. That comment got so many likes, it's kind of ridiculous. That video was pretty amazing though, not gonna lie. When that first video came out of building the Earth 1-to-1 that Pippin originally made, they got like 11 million views or something like that at the beginning. And it gave them like 200,000 subscribers. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a pretty cool video though, not gonna lie. Yeah, I have over 280 levels. Because I killed the Ender Dragon. Over and over and over again. I'm about to kill the Ender Dragon again, actually. Soon. That sounds so painful though, is the 1-to-1. Building everything 1-to-1 sounds so painful just because it's so, not just tedious, but it's so easy to mess up. And knowing me, I probably would mess up. I know some people wanted, or asked me if I was gonna join, the 1-to-1 projects. Like, yeah, I don't really have the time for that. I kind of have to deal with my own project. And other things. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to building something like that, I could probably do it eventually, but dang man, it doesn't seem like something I would really want to dedicate myself to do. Especially when I already have my own project to finish. And considering how much Minecraft I'm actually playing, yeah. Don't know about that one. My patience only comes from things that I know for sure is going to work out. At least somewhat work out. As long as I have some form of path to laid out for me, then I'm fine. Like this project. I mean, don't get me wrong, the path of this project has kind of been skewed a bunch of times, but it's still a path nonetheless. I knew exactly how long this project was going to roughly take. It may take a little bit longer just because of things I've had to do in the last, like, month or so. Oh, I never even thought about that with the time limit. I mean, this project is literally a test of willpower. It has nothing to do with anything. It's literally just it's either sheer patience, or not sheer patience. It's either sheer willpower or sheer discipline. It's literally either one. You either put all your discipline into this project, and you discipline yourself to do this project every single day. Hours on end, somehow discipline yourself to do it. I don't know. It'd be kind of hard to do, because discipline usually requires other people to get you to do something. Most people don't really discipline themselves. I mean, you can do it. It's just it takes a lot of power. Mine's more or less of like, hey, I'm just gonna do a bunch of work, take a little break, do a bunch of work. I'm just gonna be extremely tenacious about this project, which is what I've been doing really. I've been just extremely tenacious. Even if I take a 2-month break, I'm still gonna come back and do this project. In my case at least. Other people, it may be more of this test of discipline. Actually, for most people, it's test of discipline. Didn't I mine Tall Cow? I'm pretty sure I got rid of Tall Cow a while back. Oh yeah, true. They do have World Edit. I kind of forgot about that. To be fair, no building really looks the same though. I mean, there may be some areas, but for the most part, a lot of buildings in certain cities look similar. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty sure I got rid of Tall Cow a while back. On one of the streams. I could be wrong about that, but I think I did it last update. Because I think it's just too out of place. It's too out of place in my opinion. Like, it was pretty interesting when it first became a thing, but it just seemed too out of place after finishing the section. Thank you, Casual Gamer. Welcome as well. What's up, Fazbear King? So, I did it, I don't really know what you're talking about in terms of, like, a tier thing. What's up, water? Yes, I'm gonna drink more water actually. Okay, do you mean like in terms of moderation, or do you mean like Patreon? Because I've actually been pretty good about drinking water on my own, while I mine. I've gotten pretty good at it. Yeah, I'm not too sure what you're actually talking about. I don't remember what you're talking about. Casual gamer. Yeah, no, it's been pretty difficult for me to constantly. I mean, that to be fair, that's really the only thing I drink, so. To be fair, your name is gonna really remind me of drinking water, though, 'cause it's literally called Water Drinker. In the future, I know sometimes it does get ahead of me, like yesterday, but oh well. You can make some pretty insane mob farm with this. If you design it properly, that is. To be fair, the PS4 mob count is pretty low. I mean, I guess if you put this world into a realm, and do it on console, or sorry, do it on Bedrock Edition, then I think that was my last. No, it was not. It was not my last sugar box. How long have I been streaming for? Never actually checked what time I've been streaming. God dang it. Let's see here. GameStop did go up, but honestly, by the time I knew about the explosion, it was too late. It was already dropping like 30% by the time that happened. Unfortunately. What's up, Felix? Nothing too much. Even in the past 2 months. I mean, to be fair, when it comes to holding stock. Oh, holding games. When it comes to the stock market, honestly, unless you get extremely lucky with a specific stock, or you're amazing at predicting when stock goes up, which is practically impossible, unless you're really, really, really good with data analyzing and stuff like that. I don't know. I still think Vanguard stock indexes, stock indexes are probably the best. Just because of the return you get from them is pretty insane, considering for doing basically nothing. You can get some pretty insane returns. Like their real estate one, you can get like 10% return per year or something like that, if I remember correctly. And you can even get dividends within that stock that you put in, or those indexes. It's pretty crazy. Probably what I'll be putting my money into in the future. Thank you, Felix. It actually wasn't like a sudden thing. I have my reasonings to why I'm doing it. It's on the channel. I have my reasons why. I definitely did not have just an impulsive reason to do this project. Don't get me wrong, mining has always been a very, very impulsive thing for me to do on Minecraft. It's like the main thing I would do in Minecraft anyway, so it's very fitting for me in the first place. Something about mining, I don't know why. Just collecting as many resources as possible. Something about it. So, I mean, it's very fitting that a person who's basically been obsessed with mining since they first started back in 2012 is the one to do one of the most insane mining projects of all time in this game, so... if not one of the most insane solo projects in Minecraft in general. Let's be honest, this is probably one of the most ridiculous projects to do in solo survival. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't 100% solo, but it's about as close as you can get. It's like 99.5 or 6% solo, maybe even more. 99.9% solo, at least the mining portion. Mining and draining portion is 99% solo. The Nether's gonna be 100% though. Solo. The End is gonna be satisfying, yeah. The Nether, I think, is gonna be the most satisfying one of the three, though. Because who thought... I don't know anybody who thought of just going through a Nether. The Nether's already really intimidating just going through it. But mining it? Wow, it's gonna be painful. It's definitely the most difficult of the three. Because, you know, lava. Lava's gonna be painful. Wow, that was loud. Hopefully that didn't break anybody's ears. Yeah, that's true. I'm the complete opposite. I'd rather do it alone. I mean, don't get me wrong, my friend helping me, my friend Matt, that helped me for a little bit. He helped mine at least maybe about 500,000 blocks. At most. Probably. He did a lot of the groundwork though with me. Like the base of this project. Like the emeralds that I got at the very beginning. Building that farm at the bottom you see. Stuff like that. I'm at least 3,000 hours into this project, trust me. I'm probably around 3,000 hours in this project. I could be a little bit off. 2.7, something like that. I don't know, PS4. I think PS4 optimization with Minecraft. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the audio just a little bit. Wow, that is only at 1%. Okay, well, why is it so loud then? Okay, is that better? I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it would be accomplishing even with a friend. But, still. This project's gonna be accomplished no matter how many people you have, honestly. Yeah, I'm at least... Wait, what is Potato War? Just out of curiosity, I kinda just skipped over that. What project took over 3,500 hours? It's called Potato War. Yeah, I'm probably around 2.7 to 3,000 hours into this. Like, this project alone, I think this project takes around 5,000 hours. I could be wrong about that though, because I know Twigcat has a video where it took, if he did not non-stop mining, it'd take around 5,000 hours, so... I could be more than 3,000 hours, let's be honest. I don't have the best time perception when it comes to projects like this, especially a project this absolutely massive. Seriously. Seriously. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, you also have to consider the Nether the End in terms of hours. Which, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it shouldn't take nearly as long with the Nether. To be honest, it really shouldn't take that long. The lava may take a little bit longer than I think it does, but... Okay, the 1-to-1 project totally is the biggest project in Minecraft. Like, this project isn't even that close to as big as that project, let's be honest. It really isn't. At least I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's much bigger. To be fair, it has like hundreds of thousands of people working on it, so... I mean, it has to be bigger. It has to be a bigger project. $100 million potatoes? That took 3,500 hours. God, that really puts in perspective this project. My God. I mean, I think the longest streak I've ever had was on, in high school, actually, weirdly enough. I think I spent around 4 hours a day for at least several months at a time, and that's only for a couple months. That's not counting the last 3 years doing this project, or 2.5 or so years. I don't know. I really can't say how long this project's been taking, but I'm just saying I have over 800 hours of streaming and I've barely even touched. Barely any of my streaming has even been done. Any of my project has even been done on streaming. Like, there's only been one section where I actually mined an entire section on stream. And I think it was the 4 million. What was it? No, it was 3 million. 4 million and 6 million weren't even streamed. To be fair, some of that stuff wasn't entirely, it wasn't like I was constantly mining, though. A lot of that was, like, back-end work. So you have to consider in, like, 5,000 hours of mining and the back-end work of this project as well. So, like, it's a lot of stuff. Well, I think it's like 5,000 hours of mining. I could be wrong about that, though. Definitely not the first time. Honestly, has anybody ever killed the Ender Dragon more than, like 800 times in their world? Because, I mean, besides maybe Ender Dragon farmers. Because I think I've killed this dragon about 700, 800 times when we're trying to calculate it. It's going to be impossible to calculate some of this stuff because of the inconsistencies in Minecraft terrain and how many pickaxes I've had at a time, and you know, there's a lot of variables to go into stuff like calculations that big or that inconsistent in general. Yeah, I hope the Nether doesn't take too long. I mean, I'm not expecting it to take 2 or 3 months. I'm expecting maybe like 6 months. I would think around 6 months. Estimating roughly. So, Camille? I think it's Camille. Camille? I forgot to say it. It's like a Y, isn't it? Double L. Like a Y. Camille. Now, I don't know if anybody's mined over 20, 30 million blocks. I've probably almost hit 30 million at this point. Almost. I'm getting really close. 30 million blocks mined at the moment, so. How did you... Okay. Here, come here. Lag, I swear to God. Bleep. Okay. Can you get back there? This isn't your post. Could you guys... Seriously, you guys. Here's Devin. God dang, I have to re-kill the Ender Dragon. I need to save it before... Whatever. I almost fell up because of looking at the second screen on delay, and there's slight delay with the second screen. I almost just walked off the world. I know, I'm kind of surprised. I don't know how I still remember that actually. Alright, yeah, Ash. could do a time lapse in the end. That would be really difficult though. Actually, no, it wouldn't be that hard. It'd be annoying on stream though, because I'd have to stream the time lapse, which I've already done that before. I could do the Nether, which would be interesting. It'd be really hard just because I don't even know how I'm gonna update the give updates on the Nether. The Nether's gonna be really Nether's going to be pretty difficult to even update. It's gonna be hard to give updates on the Nether because I can't. There's nothing. There's no structure to the end that I can't just. I mean the Nether. I can't just say, oh yeah, I mined this section and I mined this section. I mean I guess I can do. I've gotten rid of the lava in this section or whatever. Yeah, the angle of the Nether would be hard. It was even hard to do the overworld. God dang you. One hit away, I hate that so much. It's so annoying. It's not like there's not a lot of space either for the Nether. So I know how I'm going. So I know how I'm going to do the Nether. I just don't know how to update it. Just because it's like, I know how I'm gonna destroy the Nether. I have a pretty decent plan. I'm going to flatten the last bottom 2 layers of the world and then get rid of all the lava. So I have a flat ground to work on when I get rid of the lava. And then I'm going to remove all the lava, and then after that, I really don't know. I think I'm just gonna go down up from, up down, from the top down, and destroy the Nether. Even though that's gonna still be really annoying, let's be honest. But I think it's my best bet is going from the top down, just because. Oh god, I can't even imagine trying to go from the bottom up, trying to get rid of all the top layers of the Nether. There's literally no point in doing. There's no point in doing that. Dang, it's been so long since I've actually had my map up. I've had this map up literally since 2 million, I think. Okay, let's try this again. Nice. You got a bit above average. The average is 2.2 per ore. For fortune, if I remember correctly. On average. Yep. One of my friends built it. This is some interesting art on this world from my friends. They literally just went on here and built something. It's kind of funny. So whenever I upload this world, I get to either see the art or I'm gonna upload a version where it doesn't have any art. I may do both. But I'm not too sure. It's funny though, because they didn't even work on the actual project. They literally just worked on the building art. My friend was one of my friends also built the staircase, the pyramid on the outside of the end portal. He built like 3 or 4 things. One of my friends, E-boy gang. He built the staircase, up the pyramid staircase upward. There's a Game & Watch on the side of the world as well. And he built the 2019 sign. Nice. There's quite a few people who do it. Some people do it while they sleep. That is hoping you don't accidentally go into one of the menus on accident. Because I've done that a couple times. I'm gonna just update the game tonight, and then we won't have to deal with that. I hate the fact that I have to update the game, even though I really don't even need to update the game. It's kind of a waste of time in my opinion. But whatever. You can't even use the online features without... I mean, to be fair, that makes sense, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying that I'm using an older version. But it just gives me a warning every time. It's like, oh yeah, you can't use the online features. If you use it, even though I don't even need the online features anymore. What's up, Sam? Nice. I know a few friends that bought some 3D printers. They kind of, I'm not saying they abandoned them, but dang man, like, I've heard it's quite difficult to manage those 3D printers. Not even just manage them, fixing them and stuff like that. It's a huge pain. I think I'll be good. I heard they're a huge pain to deal with. I forget how long these layers actually take if you do it full force, because sometimes I haven't really been doing like full layers unless I'm doing something that requires a lot of concentration, because I can do this stuff while I mine, at least somewhat do it. I mean, like, I can listen to a book and somewhat analyze everything in the book. That's how I learned how to learn quickly, is how I figured out how to actively, logically process everything. It takes a lot of willpower and a lot of energy, but it's not horrible. I just have to get good at it. But if I can do it, I can learn subjects very quickly. If I can do it properly, that is. It really messes me up badly sometimes though, since I don't have that full logical control like some types do. Don't get me wrong, I have pretty good control over my logic, but not as good as some of my friends, because they're TI hero. But, yeah. Well, it's not really audiobooks, but I'm just turning on, I'm either using a video to process it, or I have a book that I put text-to-speech on. Because I can say like one word and then they say what it is and stuff like that. There's a problem with some of the books though, is that they kind of go into stuff that really doesn't mean much, because they kind of give like this weird analogy instead of just giving the straight facts about it. Because if I wanted to learn something like what does this actually mean, I could just look it up myself. But I'm better off using a normal book, let's be honest. But at the same time, it is kind of nice trying to challenge my logic. Now, if you're a TE user, you should probably, it really doesn't matter. If you want to multitask, just get an audiobook. But if you don't mind reading a book yourself, then just read the book. But if you want to multitask while doing it, you can definitely do it with TE. Because TE is just reference points. I mean, yeah, you definitely have TE. Yeah, but can't you just listen to what they say and just repeat it? What they're saying with TE? That's all TE is. It just regurgitates data. It just takes what everybody says and just regurgitates it. I've done that a couple times. It doesn't work well. I mean, it works because I have to just say like, boom, this means this, this means this, this means this, boom, got the subject. But the problem is, there may be some details that I've missed. I mean, I try to filter them because TI is a filter. I try to filter them as fast as possible. It's like a high pressure filter system. It's basically what TI Child's like. It's not as good as TI Hero, but it's alright. I mean, I may be able to push my logical processing fast enough. I would actually recommend philosophy, for your FI child, because I know you're an INTJ, and, it would benefit your FI child a lot for moral principles, and, you can strengthen your morals and your morals and principles with philosophy. I think it'd be pretty useful. I'd probably do like Taoism. Probably start with Taoism because just personally, in my opinion, Taoism has been the most useful and is the most probably the best. Personally, what I've seen out of philosophy, Taoism is the best, and yeah, it's definitely a personal opinion, but you can look into a bunch of philosophies, honestly. Just more of a recommendation than anything. I'm trying to get good at logically processing while somebody's talking. It's so difficult though because I have to not only process the old information, as soon as I get the information I have to process it. But at the same time, I have to not only do that, I have to do it fast enough before I miss any new information that's coming as soon as somebody says something. It's pretty difficult. It's totally doable, it's just, I'm gonna have to practice. I don't know if there's limits to how fast I can process information, but I know being TI child, I have infinite, the energy of logic is there. It's practically infinite. Unless I'm tired, but I mean if I have decent sleep, I should be fine. I've gotten pretty good at it. But I know TE Parent doesn't have that capability of being able to process everything. Sorry, not process, but take in all that data. Because it's pessimistic and it doesn't have the energy like a child or hero function. Like an ENFP or an ENTJ has, where they can just have unlimited source or unlimited ability to use their functions, especially TE heroes. Same with like SE heroes. SE heroes can. It's heroes versus the other functions really. You just have the mastery of. Some types have a mastery. Oh yeah, I can see that. Well, no. It's just that you can't use the functions. Nothing's wrong with it. It's just you can't use the functions all the time. It's not your natural state function. It's not something you use 100% of the time. Like you can a child or hero function. It's actually a good thing it's pessimistic, because the pessimistic, the TE parent, or extroverted thinking parent, gets types like me, TI childs, or TI heroes out of echo chambers. They're really easy to get into, let's be honest. Especially TI, optimistic TI users can get into echo chambers so easily from my own experience. It's even more annoying when you're competing, or not competing, but you're talking to another TI hero. Dang, is that annoying and kind of difficult. Especially a TI hero that isn't entirely the most responsible with their TI. Let's be honest. I have an INTP as one of my friends, and he's not exactly the most responsible with his thinking. I wish I had some TE parent in my life just completely destroy his TI hero. But nope. Or even a TE hero as well. Funny enough, I even told one of my friends he's a ENTJ, he's TE hero. I told him like, if you and him competed in a topic, if they both researched a topic and one topic and debated about it, I wanted to see who would actually win, especially since they're golden pair, INTP and ENTJ. It's kind of interesting. Because you got the types that logically process everything, but it takes longer to gather all that input. And you also have TE hero, which gathers all the input, but has to process everything. It's literally the complete opposite. TI users have to process everything, every input that they get. I don't really sometimes do that, which is stupid, but I know. But because either I don't care for the information itself, which I probably should stop doing that, because it gets into a really stupid habit, and it enables my FI critic. But so you have TI users need to gather input and process the input that they're getting at the moment. And you also have but you have TE users that have to gather all the information they want, but they have to verify and process what they know later on, or before they forget the information, because if they don't process it, they'll forget it. Actually, they forget information anyway. TE users, I'm pretty sure, forget information that they learn if new information gets pulled into their brain. So if, like, for example, TE users learn a subject, a very information dense subject, but never get taught that subject, they're gonna forget it after a while, and then if they get taught another subject, if that makes sense. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, it is kind of annoying. Don't get me wrong, it is kind of annoying not being able to gather much data. I would love to utilize data a little bit better. But at the same time, it is cool not being able to really forget much in terms of, like, information. Due to being so literal about things, I can be about as accurate as I want to be, as long as it's a subject that's very accurate to what I've learned. The problem is TI users tend to rub their nose in people's business a lot because they want to help other people. But the problem with that is it kind of makes them seem like a know-it-all, which, trust me, I've stopped doing that. It makes me seem... I feel much better about it. And instead of feeling like I'm being super arrogant about what the heck I know, even though I don't know much at all. I think once a TI user gets to the point where they don't know much, or gets to the point where they actually don't know as much as they think they do, or they need to understand that not everybody wants to be corrected constantly about every little tiny detail, or even being told, just saying what they think constantly. Don't get me wrong, I mean, on these streams it's different because I'm kind of just babbling, but in real life, in a social situation specifically, since TI is to FE, TI users need to, especially optimistic TI users, need to realize that when to shut their mouth. That's it. About subjects they actually don't know what they're talking about. I could say all TI users, really. TI parents are the only type that that can actually don't really have that much of an issue. I mean, they sometimes do, but wow, did anybody even hear that? Because I put that mic way over there. Okay, so consider knowing a lot. Honestly, you shouldn't really think about knowing a lot. If you think you know a lot, you probably don't know that much. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. What's up, Okinawa? Okinawa, I think is how you said that. I don't know. I have really no idea how to say that, but yeah, knowing a lot, it's just something that really doesn't exist. Because knowing a lot is kind of an arrogant statement if you think about it, because it's like, oh yeah, hey, I know a lot, and it's like you're kind of assuming that you've put so much pride into what you think that like you just have this like aura of fake confidence within what you actually know, and it's just alienating at that point. You just alienate other people, and you rub your nose in other people's business of knowing things. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're like a super expert on a field, just don't try to, unless somebody asks you for help, or asks you what you think, or asks you what you know on a specific subject, just say what you know. Don't try to be too overly prideful about it, I guess. Oh yeah, definitely not. If you're like a super expert in one field, you're not going to be an expert in other fields. Like even INTJs that can probably master a skill and learn the information of one subject faster than everybody, I'm not saying they'll forget it, but let's be honest here, it's not exactly something, they can't be a master of everything. It's more like INTJs and INFJs are the types that can master skill faster, but it's only one skill, or technically one branch and area of knowledge and skill to fulfill some form of objective. In the INTJ's eyes, it'd be more like the objective to reach either higher status or reach higher, to improve systems in the world. Execute on and improve systems. In the terms of INFJs, it's more like using the information to help other people. It's pretty much gain skills and knowledge to help other people. Oh yeah, definitely not. That's what a lot of TI users need to learn. It's like a TI. It's almost like a TI arrogance echo chamber. It's not really an echo chamber of their own thoughts. It's not like a real echo chamber. But it's sort of an echo chamber. But it's more about. It's like an echo chamber of their own. I guess it's kind of their own thinking, but. Of helping people. It's more like, hey, I can help people this well, because it's like I know all of this stuff, so I can help people with this stuff. But it's like, yeah, you get the idea. Hopefully, I don't really know where I'm going with this statement. Let's be honest. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this statement. Oh well. I mean, yeah, echo chambers are dumb, but I mean, they can be useful. They're very useful for epiphanies, I've noticed. I've gotten a lot of epiphanies being in echo chambers. I'm probably still in an echo chamber, let's be honest here. Actually, I've been in an echo chamber for a while. That's what takes me so long before I actually, this is why I make so many mistakes with, say for example, the definition of the functions or how the functions work. It took me forever to figure out on a super in-depth level of how the functions work. But now I understand them quite well, at least from a mechanical standpoint, each of the functions by themselves, and how they combo into each other and stuff like that. It would, getting out of echo chamber would fast track people, though. I mean, obviously it would, because you get fresh input from other people. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to this. The analytical depth psychology. It's pretty insane. I've done that with my ENFP unconscious. I've done it with where I explain things I have no idea how they even like relate. I just spew words. I usually try to relate everything, but the biggest problem with telling a TI user, especially a TI child, or telling a TI child, having a TI child or a TI inferior talk to another TI inferior and TI child is that I'm not gonna say it's impossible for one to listen to the other, because it's probably not impossible, especially if they have good mastery over TE, their TE trickster. or TE demon, which is practically impossible unless they're like 70. I mean, I may be able to eventually touch my TE trickster. Eventually, I can't wait for that to actually like me be able to finally understand data. TE, get into TE master eventually. It's gonna take forever though. I think I just need to focus on other functions though. My any nemesis, my FI critic specifically my FI critic. TI childs, TI child is kind of getting good. I'm kind of getting good at using TI child. Turning into TI parent finally. And then FI critic. I'm kind of getting used to it. Not really. It's kind of a hard function because it's literally like a plague of sadness. Yes, I've heard of how do you say his name? Kurzig. I have no clue how to say that name, but I have heard of him. Yes. So yeet. We're mainly just talking about, mainly talking about analytical psychology at the moment. Yeah, I'm not too sure what else to mention though. Wait a minute, wait Sam, can you like remember? I'm actually kind of curious, so I know you have TE parent, I know you're a TE user, do you forget information a lot? Or no? Is it kind of like a thing that you do? I don't really understand how that works. Because I know TI is information recall, it's being able to recall information that that person knows. Since it's internal, if it's extroverted thinking, does that mean that if you don't use that thinking, or if you don't use that knowledge for a while, does it go away? Or something? After some certain point? Like if you learned a new, if you learned a subject, and then you learned a new subject, does it go away? Super curious. I tried to ask my friend that. His TE inferior. Couldn't really give a good answer. I mean, he did say it went away. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I think that is how that works. TE users... I mean, obviously they... because it's extroverted, it's other people's thinking. If they lose that extroverted, if they lose that thinking, if they don't hold on to that thinking, either you keep learning on it, like keep using that thinking, I don't know if that makes sense, but keep using that thinking, it will go away. Kind of like a skill, like SE skill, like an SE user. If they don't use that skill, then it'll go away. It's kind of similar. It's kind of weird because it's extroverted and it needs another source. Kind of interesting. What's up, Penguin GT? Oh, you're good, don't worry. I'm not expecting many people to join these streams, at least the first couple streams that I'm probably going to be doing. But yeah, I'm glad I know the TE and TI, at least in terms of thinking. I'm trying to figure out how to utilize it better, though. Not TE, but I'm trying to figure out if I can mix TE and TI combining. I actually do that as well. I communicate a lot of my stuff to with my friend, because a lot of the people aren't really interested in the things I talk about. This is literally the best way to talk about it. Is streaming. I mean, obviously, I can talk about as much stuff as I want to. You guys have to type everything, so it's a little bit different. Oh well. I mean, to be fair, if you can type faster than somebody can talk. I mean, many people can probably type faster than they can talk. I don't know what the average speech pattern is for a person, but I can definitely talk way faster than I can type. It's kind of surprising. I think people would be kind of surprised at how fast I can talk, considering I don't even talk that much. Outside of streaming with my friends, maybe. Even then, I don't even talk that much. Even with my friends being here, because they talk to each other constantly. I don't even know what's even going on most of the time. It's like, dang, you guys really talk to each other a lot. I'd prefer one-on-one talking, but I mean... I don't know. There's something about the TI thing, it's just... I mean, I'm decent at typing, but it's just... I think my slower speed makes it a little bit better. It depends on what I'm typing, though. If I'm typing about a subject specifically, I can type pretty quickly. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen occasionally. It probably takes you a little bit more energy to use your, to think about what you're saying because of TI Critic. I thought about the fact that TI technically, is a bit more powerful than TE in certain cases. Because of snowballing information. Because the thing that TI users can do, they can take the past information that they learned and relate it to the new information and just provide analogous thoughts of different pieces of information. Like how C.S. Joseph literally turned the four sides of the mind to a computer chip, CPU. Which is really interesting as an analogy. But something like that is a good example. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it still takes a long time for TI users to get god dang it. It takes a long time for TI users to gather the input and process it, but dang, it's pretty powerful after a while. But technically TE users can, especially SETE users specifically, can literally just learn a skill. And then, they can just learn a skill, and then if they forget it, they can just relearn it again. To be fair, that's kind of inefficient after a while. But I mean, At least I figured out how to actually become habitual with SE inferior. It's very hard to do, but you literally just have to go with the wind. Since SE is wind based. It's really all about going with the flow of wind. It's like you have to basically become wind and just go with the flow of what's happening. In what you actually have to do. It's like what you have to do versus what you want to do, because the problem with NI hero is NI heroes want to stop the flow and want to stop the flow and just kind of halt everything so they can do what they want instead of actually just going with what you should be doing. Really, ignorance is the biggest problem with SE inferior. If the SE inferior is ignorant, they're gonna... I'd say all NISE users really, if they're ignorant towards things, they're just gonna halt everything in what they're doing. There's really some... I love the strengths and looking at the strengths of all the types and the weaknesses of all the types based on just pure functions alone. It's really interesting. Like SITI users can if they learn a skill and gather the knowledge for that skill, they can retain that entire subject and skill combined basically forever. TESI users can retain the skills that they learn, but they have to replenish their knowledge of what's actually happening within the skills of the subject, of the trade, I guess. Basically every skill, every subject is a trade, and depending on what skill you want to retain, they can retain the skill, but they can't retain the knowledge if they don't use it. SETI users can, so Templar types can retain the knowledge, but they can't retain the skill. So they still have the knowledge of the skill, or not even the skill, but of the subject that they're learning. But they have to refire those neurons for the skill itself. It's kind of weird. And obviously TESE users have to refire both. They have to relearn the subject, and they have to relearn with the neural pathways, build the neural pathways again with their SE. What's up, Gamers Legacy? I can't get the netherite, I can't get the netherite pickaxe because I'm on Legacy Edition 1.14. It's the highest since the Legacy Edition went, the PS4 Legacy Edition, which is the console edition, the original console Legacy Edition. And I'm not going to update it because that would destroy the whole point of the project, so. Because I'm destroying a console classic size world, so. That's the reason why. Yeah, that has happened to me. You should have seen with me. You should have seen me with Beat Saber. Oh my god, I didn't realize how bad SE Inferior was for skill, like deterioration, skill deterioration. I didn't realize how bad it was, but my god, it's so bad. Like, I'm so rusty at that game. Jeez, it's kind of scary. But the thing is, from what I've learned, I heard it takes 2 months before a person loses a skill, or before it starts deteriorating. The thing is, if a SE inferior doesn't use that skill for, I would say 2 months, if we're going by that subject alone. So if a T user or an SE user took a SE user in general didn't do that, especially SE inferiors, specifically SE inferiors, don't use that skill for 2 months or so, and don't have those, doesn't have that. It could be anything really. A skill doesn't have to be a specific skill. It could be in any form of it could be literally any form of what is it called? Of any movement, repetitive movement. Literally any repetitive movement. If you don't use it for like a couple months or so, and depending on how far you took that skill, you're gonna lose it faster than literally everybody else. So take for example driving. At least for me, if I didn't drive for like a month or two because I don't really have any reason, because I was just studying for the certs and stuff like that. I'm not saying I was a little bit rusty. I mean, I was still about the same. I don't think I really lost any skill over it. Maybe a little bit, but not much. But if I didn't drive for like 4 months or something like that, some ridiculous amount of time, I would be a little bit rusty at least. Just a bit, because it's like, you tend to, the neural pathways are just so vague now. It's like, how do I do this again? Over time and time. What's up, Glacier Play? What is it? I rode a dirt bike actually. I rode a little bit of a dirt bike. One of my friends has a dirt bike that he rides. And that has the inferior, if you really focus, my god, you can really learn skills fast. You have to put in the effort, obviously, but if you can really just put in that effort put in that mental focus to learn the skill, dang, you really can. Like, I can, just the movements of riding a dirt bike, like going left and right, combined with like just the throttle. I never actually switched gears or anything like that because it was in a tiny yard. I mean, don't get me wrong, I messed up a couple times because I don't know how to use a manual gearing or manual gearbox, so I mean, it's not like it was. It took a few tries, but I figured out how to do it after a little while. It's super finicky after a bit, but whatever. I used to ride a ATV. Honestly, I think dirt bikes are a little bit fun though, in my opinion. I've ridden in both, and dirt bikes, just, I love the control just after like a couple minutes of riding them. Just the control you get from a dirt bike is so nice. Don't get me wrong, they're a bit more dangerous because if you run on a rock or something like that, it's not like an ATV where it just has all 4 wheels and you can tip over way easier. But yeah, you get the point though. With SE inferior, it can really learn stuff quickly, super quickly. If you give it the time, that is. Sure, don't get me wrong, you can mess up a million times, but you will get it faster than, maybe not everybody, because some SI users may do better than SE users. Oh yeah, you mentioned that actually. Yeah, they're pretty terrifying, I'll be honest. Especially when you first doing it, when you first start driving it, but it's it's fun once you actually like get the hang of it. It's pretty fun in my opinion. After a bit though, I've driven a go-kart. I was actually pretty decent for only being like 12 riding it, or 11 or something like that. I wish I spent a little bit more time on some of that stuff. I could have been really good at driving that actually, thinking about it. Even using something as simple as a saw or something like that, it took a few tries. It took like 1 or 2 tries before I actually got the movement down comfortably. That is, like a skill saw. Pretty nerve-wracking. Don't get me wrong; it's super nerve-wracking. But dang, the problem is if there's too many skills to learn at a time, it can get extremely overwhelming. Because SE Inferior only has so much performance it can give at a specific time. Because it's an inferior function, it doesn't have full awareness like SE Heroes do. Even SE Child is pretty good, pretty amazing. For its ability to learn. Like my friend, he learned manual in a parking lot when he just got a car. Like he literally was driving automatic for a while, and he literally bought a manual without even knowing how to drive it. He literally drove in a parking lot for, I don't know how long he drove for, but he drove for at least probably a good amount of time, and then he learned manual and he was good. It's pretty crazy. And same with driving. I probably could have learned driving way faster. 2 layers is a little bit slower because of gravel, and you have to move around a little bit more with 2 layers. It's a little bit more inconsistent, which you can't have inconsistencies with 2 layers or with this project. You can do 2 layers, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a little bit slower in my opinion. Just a little bit. I haven't fully tested it. I tested it for a little bit, but I just don't think it's worth it, especially when you mine for 2 hours at a time. But yeah, it's pretty insane. Don't get me wrong, I was pretty terrified of doing manual because of my performance anxiety. But I need to really stop just being afraid. I need to take my NI hero and just fuel my NI hero with SE inferior, or sorry, fuel my SE inferior with NI hero because of that sheer focus. I'm talking when I was riding that dirt bike, my focus was like ridiculously beyond anything. Like I think I got like a small adrenaline rush just focusing so hard. I can almost focus with that SE inferior, combine SE inferior with NI hero, get that SE aspirational, and you literally have adrenaline rush on command. I can't do it every time, but dang, it feels so good. Because not only do I learn a skill way faster than anything else on the planet, but it just feels really nice to get that type of adrenaline and learn something in like 2 minutes. What's up, Gecko? Falling. Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably one of the reasons why I didn't like roller coasters. I don't really know the real reason why I didn't like roller coasters. After a while, but I will. I'm thinking about riding some actually in the future, just to see how, because it's been literally years and years and years since I've ridden one, so I want to see how I feel about them now after I ride them. I can think it was like 5th grade, and I am a year and a half out of high school, so huge difference. Think about a year and a half. Could be wrong. It actually doesn't feel like it's been a year and a half. I don't know, actually. It feels like it's been going by pretty slowly. Somewhat slowly, at least. I don't really know. Not that good with time perception, so. Oh, what's up, Lakime? I've been doing pretty good. Surprised I still remember your old name. It's pretty insane. So, Elliot. I don't know if it has anything to do with SE Inferior, because I know SE, it's attached to wind, and when you fall, there's... I don't know, I really doubt it has to do with falling, but at the same time, I am kind of... I don't know if it's an SE thing with heights. Or something, because I know... Because it's usually, I don't really fear much, as long as I understand the circumstances of what's actually happening around me. And it's not just a sporadic, just, I'm gonna just fall out of literally thin air. Out of nowhere. Don't get me wrong, I like chaos up to a certain point, but... I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I doubt it has anything to do with SE. What do you mean during the break? Oh, you mean just... Oh, never mind. I don't know, I was thinking for a second. Mainly, I finally passed my A+ certificates. The CompTIA A+. That's the main thing I was focusing on. And figuring out how the heck I'm even gonna transverse through IT in general, but for the most part, it's mainly been those two certifications, or sorry, 2 tests become 1 certification. My god, I cannot speak. Apparently. That's the main reason I haven't been streaming, because I've been trial and erroring. Oh my god. Whatever. I've been just going to many different directions, figuring out how to learn. Let's go with that. That's a better way to say it, instead of me stuttering a million times over and over again. Let me just say this, I figured out how to I had to relearn how to learn. Let's go with that. It's a good way to say it. Thank you, Likeme. And after relearning how to learn, it's been very powerful. I feel much more powerful than I was before that, and I feel much better about myself knowing that I figured out how to learn and how to use my brain properly, apparently. Let's go with that. Because it's like, I used to learn like this, but I just stopped because of education, the education system. Because they favor a very specific type of learning that doesn't suit me even to the slightest degree whatsoever. But I didn't study like everybody else did. I studied like everybody else did, which didn't benefit me whatsoever. No, I took the lazy route. It wasn't technically lazy, but because I was still putting in effort, it was just worthless effort. I was putting in literally worthless effort for my own sake. And to mind you, I was actually doing pretty well in school for like no reason whatsoever. It made no sense. I can't even imagine if I actually put this learning style that I've developed now into into schooling, like actual, like during high school, that is specifically, I wouldn't have stressed myself out that much, and math wouldn't be that bad for me either. I think I stressed myself out with math, and I didn't think I was that good at math because I didn't know how to learn math properly. What's up, cool boy? It's pretty good. Well, it's not really that I do stuff. Well, yeah. It's not really it's not the SE, it's the TI. The problem is, okay, here's the problem. With TI and TE in schooling. I'll explain it after I drink some more water. Not entirely. It's not 100% on the teacher. The reason, okay, I'll explain a couple things real fast. It's not 100% on the teacher, let's be honest. Especially since you can technically self-teach yourself math. But don't get me wrong, it is somewhat on the teacher at the same time, but the problem is math. Most people who favor schooling are TE users, because they can just take in the information and just regurgitate it back out. Math, since it's so logical, you can't do that. You actually have to problem solve. Feel kind of bad for the lower TI users, or the lower TI users. So like TI tricksters and TI demons. They have it really hard with math because they can't logically. I mean, they could probably use TE, but dang man, that's pretty difficult. It takes so much effort for them to learn math compared to TI users. But TI users have to put so much effort into trivial things, unlike TE users, because of So it's not 100% on the teacher, because there's also a place called Freed Code Camp that literally has like algebra, geometry. Wait, do they have geometry? Actually, don't know. I know they have algebra. They have, I think they have calculus and calculus 2 as well for free. The entire subject. And here's another thing: is the other thing about math is you have to put an effort after the class. That's the biggest thing about math, is that you have to practice math. You can't just like learn it. It's not pure fact. You actually have to practice using the subject to let it either sink into your head, or you have to practice doing practice problems. That's why it's so repetitive. That's why math is so repetitive. Yeah, it's not exactly 100% the teacher's fault. Definitely not, because of because you actually have to put an effort in that class for a lot of types that don't actually have to put that much effort for schooling. What's up, Cryptic? And another thing is, what was the other part I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, the repeating information thing. Yeah, so the thing about TE Trickster is that I have to logically process every little bit of information that comes into that I see with my own eyes or hear with my own ears. Because I lack the reference points entirely with TE. I have to literally logically process every little tiny detail, which is a problem with schooling because of how fast they blow through everything. They even say take notes. The problem is they say like, oh yeah, hey, take note, like retake notes, study notes. What the heck does study notes even mean? They're very vague about study tips. Let's go with that. Because it's like, you can look at all your notes you want, but looking at notes for a TE Trickster does absolutely nothing. Wish I'd have learned that sooner. Looking at notes, even repeating notes doesn't even really do much. Because all you're doing is just organizing the information that's already being presented to you. You're not using the information that's presented to you into your own knowledge. That's what TI does. TI users literally logically process the input that they're being taken in. In that moment, they're turning TE into TI, into their own thinking. They're processing it with their own thinking. What's up, Squeezed Hen? What's up, Jonah? But yeah, you get the idea. It's like... Also, the other reason why math can do actually pretty well why math is pretty good for some types is because even for TE users, math is pretty decent. Except for mental math. I have a friend, he has TI Demon, and did mental math, which is probably the worst type. He probably has probably the worst type ever to do mental math. And he did mental math, and he did absolutely horrible on it, but... because... honestly, if we would have known about that, he probably would not have done mental math if he knew that he was probably the worst type possible to do mental math. But on paper, he could do math very well because math can be very TE because math is very process-oriented as well, though. Like, not even logically process-oriented, but paper. Like, you could do math what is it called? Math, shoot, what is it called? You can do math on paper instead of having to do it in their head because TI is very mental oriented. So if I get good at math, I can do math in my head way faster than probably even TE users on paper if I get good at it. Most people think of math as mental math, though, which is kind of a problem. Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But every type can do math. It's just how do you do math? It's just how you do math is different for everybody. In my case, I'd have to do it in my head. For some people, they do it on paper. Okay, well, this is done. probably gonna end the stream in around 17 minutes or so. Yes, there are types that make a lot of mistakes like that. I'd say like, I would probably say SE users probably make the most mistakes because they lack the detail orientation. Okay, unless they practice putting those practice putting in a negative sign or forgetting a negative sign, you get the idea. Unless they practice putting it in, putting each of them in, then they're fine, but SI users technically have a better time because they can put it into a habit. They can do it without realizing it. Probably TESE users probably have the biggest problem with that. Probably. Because they don't have TI to remember, like using logic to remember it. They also don't have, they have to put it into practice. I mean, they probably could if that was like the only subject they were learning, or not only subject, but if they learned it for a while, they could probably do it. But if they didn't use a negative sign, or if they didn't do math for a while, then they'd probably forget the negative sign after a while. Or whatever sign it is, really. I don't really know, though. That's about as good as I can get to explaining it. I can even tell you what jobs, at least somewhat the best jobs for each type either. Okay, so for that, I'm gonna make a separate save file that has an entire empty world, and I'm gonna have this save file right here that has everything in my world right now. But yeah. Yeah, I can't really think of yeah, I can tell you what jobs the best, what jobs suit each type the best. It's GIF. It's not even GIF or GIF. It's GIF. I've already looked into it a while back. At least I'm fairly certain. No, you cannot join Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell. I'll just go with Mitchell for now. You cannot join. Because it's a solo project. I want to finish the overworld by this year, but I'm not too sure. how doable that's gonna be, especially since it's already March. Almost mid-March, which is crazy to think about actually. Time's flying by a little bit faster than I thought it would be. I missed one. Speaking of missing one. Stupid lack of detail orientation. Okay, that's it. Yes, I am doing every. Oops. I am doing every dimension. Don't know how long that specifically is gonna take, but. The end is gonna be pretty easy. It's gonna be still kind of annoying, but for the most part, it's gonna be pretty easy. It's also gonna be the shortest dimension for sure. The Nether is gonna be by far the most difficult because of the lava, and it's gonna be. It shouldn't take too long, not even close, as long as the overworld. It's not even gonna be close. In terms of the length of time, it's definitely gonna be the most difficult of the three, though. So I'm debating if I should keep all the Nether blocks. I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh, I did not mean to do it. Very heavily debating if I should keep all the blocks or not on the Nether. I want to keep all the end blocks, though, at least, in stone. Maybe even the obsidian. That would be interesting. Keep all that obsidian. I mean, yeah, I will be draining out the lava, though. I mean, sorry, draining out the Nether, before I start mining. That was my plan in the first place, so. It won't be that. Oh, come on, I missed another gold. God dang it. I'll keep that in that chest, whatever. That shulker box. It's gonna be kind of weird to see a random thing of gold. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. To be fair, people call me like a blind bat, so you can probably see where they got, why they got that nickname. Because I basically am, because of the SI demon. Seriously, it really actually sucks not having SI in a lot of cases. Don't get me wrong, I love being able to learn a skill super quickly, but dang, does it suck not having SI in some cases. I mean, that sounds like a TI critic thing. That definitely sounds like a TI critic thing. To be fair, TE Trickster doesn't help that either. TE Trickster also kind of makes me feel a bit uneasy about what I know. Sometimes. It doesn't happen often like TI critics, but dang. It really sucks sometimes. What's up, Peyton? Yeah, SI, introverted sensing. It's a cognitive function that everybody has. It's basically your awareness of, it's your awareness of your own senses. How aware you are with your own senses. How psychologically aware you are, connected to your senses, I guess is the best way to say it. It's your sense of honor, self-discipline also. It's also where you, like, sensations happen, like how sensitive you are to sensations, I guess, new experiences, traditions even. It's kind of weird, it's kind of a weird function. But if you lack it, I'm literally the least aware of my own senses whatsoever, so when it comes to looking for things, finding things, missing things, yeah, it doesn't go well. Because I always miss something. It's also where your muscle memory lies, too. So if you have SI in your ego, which your ego is what you're consciously aware of, which it's your most natural awareness of, which you're most aware of, you're aware of four of the 8 cognitive functions in your own head. And if you're an SI user, you're aware of your own senses naturally. You're aware of self-discipline, sensations in general, your own comfort, how you feel about, not really how you feel technically, like like emotion types of feeling, but like how comfortable you are about something. Being told what to do from other people, you're very habitual. Building that habit. You're very habitual. You have to turn everything into a habit. SE users, extroverted sensing users, have to turn everything into a skill. They basically have to turn everything in life as a skill. Especially if you can't use SE or SI whatsoever. Or if you can't use SI whatsoever, you have to turn literally everything into a skill. Life basically has to become one giant skill that you have to learn. In terms of the motions of life, I guess. Best way to say it. Okay, I'm gonna be ending this stream very, very soon, so just a warning, like couple minutes soon. Made some pretty good progress. Got around a little around 1¼ layers. Something like that. I don't really know. Pretty close to 1¼ layers. Not bad. I mean, to be fair, I did have to refill my empty out all the shulker boxes and kill the Ender Dragon again, so. I do remember that. I think the most memorable one is definitely the one I blew up on Reddit. The first ever blow up I have. Back in February 26th of 2020. That was definitely the most memorable blow up. I remember all of them though. There were 3 of them. There was one in February, one in mid-March, and then there was one in May. I think it was May when I blew up on iFunny. It was somewhere around summer. I know for sure it was summertime. Roughly. So there was iFunny, Instagram, and Reddit. Pretty much blew me up. What's up, Rudius? So it was like one person who had like 600,000 viewers that shared a meme page. I forgot what the page said. It was like give this man some views or something like that. Alright, I will be ending the stream now, because it's been a good 3 hours. Good comeback stream. I'm almost to layer 20. I'm almost in the 20s. I usually go by 10s, so like I usually say, oh yeah, hey, I'm in the 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, 10s. Done. That's how I do it. I don't go by layer by layer. I mean, I go layer by layer, but I track progress throughout streams. Usually in the teens. Alright. Yes. You should be seeing me possibly tomorrow. Don't get me wrong, the next, I think once I start trying to get a job, it's going to be a little bit more chaotic to get. The schedule may flip again. But it's going to be, I think once I get a job, like in IT, it should be fine. I'm going to try to find some balance with streaming and other things, so it shouldn't be that bad. Not that horrible, at least. Good thing, too. Alright. I'm gonna be ending it now. Alright, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I don't know.